Love yourself first if you want to grow and be the best version of yourself. You're probably wondering, how do I do that? Start by connecting with your true self. Know who you really are. And then comes the harder part, which is to be able to accept yourself regardless of whether you're failing or succeeding. I'll get into more details in the video. Hey, this is Harry Chediar. Today I'm talking about how self-love fits into your pursuit for growth. Now, a lot of people have good intentions. They want to be able to offer their best to the world, to their family, and to their careers. But unfortunately, the way people try to stay motivated as they're reaching their goals ends up doing more harm than good. As you're working towards your goals, do you want to be whipping yourself in the back so you can run faster to achieve those goals? Or do you want to be the person that's going to offer that cup of water so you can sustain yourself as you're running in this life journey? I see your growth as your birthright. No one can take that away from you. It's so fundamental. Take a step back and think about it. From the moment you were conceived, you have been growing on one level or another. And now, as an adult, you just get to consciously choose on what level you want to be growing. Your existence in this world is a miracle, not a coincidence, not a mistake. Your body, the way it works, your brain, the way it works, all of that is phenomenal. Whether you're white or black or brown or whatever other color, or a man or a woman or any other gender, your existence is a miracle, and you are entitled to pursue your growth. Now, the journey isn't going to look the same for everyone, and for some of you, it's going to be much harder. Not all people have the same privileges. It took me nearly 10 years to become a therapist. Before that, I was a university dropout. This whole time trying to juggle family, work, and part-time school was a really rough path. All I wanted to do was to offer people something that I didn't have in my life. That was my why for wanting to become a therapist. But it wasn't enough. I was running into a lot of obstacles and I was making a lot of mistakes. All this time, I was really angry with myself. And I thought I just had to grind it out. And I was burning myself out. It was affecting my health. It was affecting my family life. It wasn't until I looked inside of myself that it became possible and sustainable for me to keep working towards my goal. In this journey of life, you're kind of like a tree. Let me explain. Your dreams are like the sun that you're reaching for. Your values and your principles are the ground that you stand on. And self-love, it's a water that you need to keep thriving. To keep growing, you will need to take many risks. And a lot of those risks will not pan out. You will fail many times. It's important how you respond to yourself when you make those mistakes. If you're going to be highly critical and judgmental of yourself, and you're going to be worried about what other people are going to say, well, chances are you're going to stop taking those risks, and in the process, you'll stop learning and growing. The first step of loving yourself is getting to know yourself. Think about some of these questions. What sort of experiences in your life bring you joy or sadness? What are the experiences that trigger you? What do you value in your life? When you start to tune into your thoughts and emotions and behaviors, you'll be more connected with your inner self. Make time for self-reflection. You all know that we live in a really hectic world and we're bombarded by technology. And so you want to be intentional about having some alone time with yourself. It might be just you taking a walk, or maybe exercising, or maybe just even laying down and listening to some music that helps you connect with your true self. Pay attention to what you're saying to yourself when you have difficult experiences or you've made some mistakes. If you start to notice that the critic inside of you is coming on really strong and there's a lot of self-judgment, then you want to start challenging that. This brings me to the second step of learning to love yourself, which is to be able to accept yourself regardless of when you're succeeding or failing. When that critic is coming down really hard on you, take a moment and step back. Try and think about how a loving parent would talk to their child if they've made a mistake. This will help you step out of yourself and bring in a comforting voice instead. Now, for some of us, it's really hard to call on that loving parent's voice. If that's the case, Think about other people in your life, like role models or teachers or coaches. Anyone that offers you acceptance and unconditional love. If you've been trying to succeed at something for a while and it hasn't happened, there are probably valid reasons. And when you can start to accept yourself and offer unconditional love, it becomes easier to see that context and see those reasons. So you can actually start to problem solve instead of blaming yourself or seeing yourself as making excuses, which actually chips away at your sense of self-worth. You don't want to be chipping yourself down further. You want to be building yourself up. This brings me to the most important part of self-love. Value yourself and know that you're worthy. Listen to me. If you don't value your inner self, one day you will stop moving forward. This is when people burn out. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you're screaming at yourself or you're trying to convince yourself that you just need to work harder, you will still be shutting down. You deserve to be happy. Think about the experiences that bring you joy in your life. For some people, it's spending time with their family. For others, it might be traveling or spirituality. Whatever it is, make sure you create time and space for these experiences. This is part of self-love because this is you filling in your tank so that you're not running on empty. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you're running it like a sprint, chances are you're probably chasing something that you think is going to make you happy. Or you're really scared that you're not going to be able to achieve your goal. And so you end up giving all that you have. But guess what? There are other people in your life that need you too. It's really important that you give yourself a chance to be happy now and stay connected with the people that you really care about, because that's what's going to sustain you as you keep working towards your goal. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends and family. It'll help me grow my channel. And if you're new to this channel, remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified as I release new videos.